check my Twitch here. Sure it's actually loading properly since I changed a bunch of stuff last night. We're looking alright. Alright. So we'll start talking about what's moving this morning. Alright. So if we check out the scanners here, let's see. We got like 4 or 5 stocks here that have been moving up a little bit this morning, but at least everything that I've seen so far has been fairly choppy, so gonna be a little bit more careful here before we take our first trade. Check out ONCY first. So I'm getting Discord in case anyone's functioning at this time of morning. Yeah, so looking at ONCY bigger charts here. Made a nice move. Still moving up currently. Kind of, consolidating a little bit right here. So if we get this break up past 450, it could be a spot to buy. It's the one that I'm currently watching. Currently watching the most right now, just because everything else has kind of popped up a little bit and pulled back. CTIB is another one that's kind of on watch right now. Made a big move this morning and then pulled back. Pulled back pretty much the entirety of it, but has started moving up again since 7 o'clock. So I think when this thing pops back up, maybe up past $4, I'd be willing to take a trade on it. But right now I'm just keeping it on watch. Yeah, and ONCY is the one that I'm currently most interested in. So see if this thing pops up past 450. Still seems good. It dipped a little bit, but it's nothing that makes me afraid to buy it at the moment. Dipping a little bit more, so this thing is going to need to rebound, fairly quickly for me to actually buy it at this point. So we'll just wait and see what happens with that. Until then, we can look at some of the other stocks that popped up this morning. Let's see what we got. So VBLT went from $2.50 up to close to $5. Just pulled back nearly the entire move, so I'm not super interested in trading this at the moment. I mean, if it comes back up past VWAP and comes into this 420 area, I'll take a trade on it just to see what happens. But I don't have huge confidence that this thing is going to come back up. RETO, similar story. Popped up to 440 earlier this morning, but it's just been pulling back. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of consolidating around VWAP at the moment, so if it makes this move up past 350, 360 area, I'd consider taking a trade on it. Otherwise, I'll probably just keep it on watch. If I see it pop up on the scanners, later today, maybe I'll take a trade on this. DWSN nearly doubled in the morning, and on super light volume, which is not really what you want to see. On the first move up, you kind of are looking for higher volume because you want staying power for the stock. So you could see that it went up on super light volume. It's just pulled back. It's just been sitting under VWAP for the rest of the morning. And here, when it did try to break out, made a big move from $4 to $5. Immediately reversed that move on higher volume than the move itself. So kind of a sign of weakness there. Not something that I'd take a trade on until it got closer up towards $5.50. And yeah, back to CTIB. And CTIB is looking alright. It did pull back for an extremely long time here on very, very light volume, which is what you want to see when the stock price starts coming down. So very, very light volume on the way down, and then increasing volume on these two green candles, and then another, switch down here to light volume on the way back down again. So um, see what happens here. It's below VWAP right now, but it has the potential to pop back over it. So at ONCY, putting a new 1 minute high candle here. So volume is really light on this. I want to see some increasing volume before I actually end up taking a trade on it. I was thinking taking a trade here for this, this new 1 minute candle high. But yeah, the volume's kind of got me second guessing myself here. So just let it sit for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, besides these few stocks that I have on my watch list right now, I haven't really seen a whole lot moving up this morning. At 7 o'clock, a whole bunch of stocks moved up kind of all at once. So this is like what you'll see around 7 o'clock when news starts coming out on stocks. So you see, right when 7 o'clock hit, ALRN came up, TTOO, GEN, PULM, and BRV. All these stocks popped up on news. They popped up, 10, 15%, something like that, and then immediately fell back down. So not something that we'd be interested in trading unless they actually continue the move that they made at 7 o'clock, which at this point, it's half an hour later. They obviously did not continue that move, but it's always good to keep an eye on some of these stocks that have popped up early, because you never know when they are just going to pop back up again. As it gets closer, someone might interpret the news as much better, end up buying a lot of it, and kind of trigger other people to start jumping in. But as of right now, got ONCI on watch, CTIB on watch. Just gonna hang out and see what happens with those two. Alright, we got another stock popping up here, SNSS. Let's see what we got. Alright, so SNSS is actually looking pretty good here. So let's see if we could take a trade up through 5 here if it continues on good volume here. Take a trade up through $5. So buy here with the expectation it pushes through $5. If we fall back down to 480, we'll sell off. So it took a little profit
action this morning
after it pushed through 5. But we're looking for continuation here on this up through 515. Otherwise, yeah, our stop right now is 480. What's going on, David? While watching this, I'm going to check on the daily chart for this to see if we have any resistance anywhere. Alright, so we're getting this pullback down here. Just tapped off 480 and popped back up to 5. See if this is just a dip that people are buying up, or this ends up being the final pullback here. As far as the daily, there is some resistance at 5. So this kind of makes sense that we're seeing a little bit of indecision around here. But yeah, so we want to hold over 505 here. This 1 minute pullback is fine. But if we break down below 480 now, yeah, so alright, we broke down below 480, got bought back up. VWAP sitting at 474 right now, so I think that's going to be my stop since VWAP is so close to it.
Did you make any good trades this
Yeah,
morning?
dude. I'm trying like to do the restream on YouTube today. So if you like are looking at the stream and it's like lagging or whatever, let me know because I want to see if like it's actually messing anything.
Okay.
All right, so we're pushing below view here, taking off another few shares. Yeah, I'm just gonna take it all off here.
Take it all off, Cody.
Take it all off.
That's why
Yeah,
we're here
so
watching the stream.
I bought up through $5, pushed up to 533. I took off a few shares at like 515, but I was hoping for a bigger move. Unfortunately, did not end up happening. Yeah, the restream thing is like really annoying though. I like now that I'm doing it through restream, I can't see um like my Twitch followers or like if new people have followed or like any of like the Twitch stats really. So I don't know if I'm going to continue doing it. I was just gonna try it today to see if it worked. So I should be streaming on Twitch and on YouTube.
Is it like separate from OBS, or is it like a replacement for
No,
OBS?
so like OBS, when you set up your OBS, you connect to a streaming service, and I usually connect to Twitch directly, and I just like link my account to OBS. Um, Restream.io is a separate streaming service where essentially it'll just like you stream to Restream.io, and then it like splits your stream and then sends it to multiple other streaming services.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Can you see your YouTube viewers or followers?
say again.
Can you see your YouTube viewers or followers at all?
So it does say I should be able to see my viewers on YouTube and Twitch, but like when I check my Twitch stream or whatever, like I should have at least one viewer, which is like you who is in now, and it still says I have zero. So I don't know how like good it is at updating.
Yeah, rip.
Yeah.
I checked this morning. It said there was one. I thought it was the Carlos guy.
Oh, no, I don't know.
But then when I joined and I just checked, it said there's still one, which I assume is me.
Yeah, I like can't see who's in my chat either, which is like really annoying.
Can you not see the chat, or can you not just see who's
I don't know. Can
watching?
you type something in chat? It does have like a chat window here, but I don't know if I can actually do it properly.
Give me a sec. I gotta do this on my computer. It's gonna be or on my TV.
Alright. Alright. Looks like SNSS here is turning around a little bit. Coming back up through VU up, so might take a trade on this up through 480. See how it holds up here.
God damn, I'm not logged in.
Rip. Yeah, dude, it's just like it's so much worse than like the Twitch OBS thing. So it might not even be worth it, honestly. They can like restream it to YouTube. So I really doubt any additional people are gonna see it on YouTube. Or if I am gonna restream it to YouTube, I gotta figure out a different way to do it that doesn't use restream. Fix my breakfast. It's all bunched up. $5 down today so far.
Your light speed, dude.
I didn't take any trades this morning.
Really?
Yeah,
You know,
like prior to
nothing.
7:15 or whatever, nothing was really moving very much.
Is the market open?
And then I took a shower and like CTIB. If you look on the chart here, at 7 o'clock to 7:10, it's made a decent move. But like really, besides that, nothing else has been moving very much. It's been fairly uneventful day so far.
We've been through this before.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we get anything popping up for the rest of the morning here.
Yeah, I do Colt's monkey stream on the side
Yeah,
while you wait.
That was actually a sick idea, though. That would be cool if I put that as like one of my scenes. Like,
Or you can just play like the Donkey Kong game while you wait.
while I wait for like stuff to start moving.
Yeah, just make sure you like unhook hotkeys or whatever and buy a
Yeah,
bunch of stuff.
that's probably a good idea. All right, what we got here? CTIB starting to move up a little bit. Might take this trade up here. So buy a few shares of this for this push up to $4. To stop at 366. So it's pushing up through view up. So looking for continuation on this thing up through $4, back up to past 420 where we were about 20 minutes ago. And then we got the 450 high of day. So it'd be nice if we can make a move back up here towards 450, which we put in earlier this morning. And if we break down below VWAP here, probably take a couple off, but 360 is probably good. 360, yeah, close to 360 is gonna be my stop here. But we're still looking good on the 5-minute. So, and we got how many? We got 2 minutes left on the current 5-minute candle. So we can see if we get on this next 5-minute candle break up through $4 here. Let me know if anyone does type in chat, David, because I still don't know if my chat is working. The unlikely event.
Yeah, sure. I have my thing like full screen on my TV, so I don't see the chat, but I'll check periodically if
Okay.
someone types.
Alright, so like this, try to get this push up, so hopefully break this 1-minute candle here. Got 30 seconds on the 1 minute. Like to hold above 387 here. And then maybe on this next 5-minute candle, get a push up towards 4. See how it's going though. CTIB looking a little choppy. At least in the last 30 minutes, the candles have been looking a little bit bigger. So hopefully we get a decent move up here. Still got 1 minute on this 5-minute candle. Still looking for a push through $4. With our stop still in the now probably put the stop at the last 5-minute candle bottom. Yeah, 366. That's also through VWAP, so if it does push down below VWAP a little bit, as long as we hold, still looking good. As far as resistance, yeah, so maybe a little bit of resistance at 4, and then a little bit of resistance pushing up back to 420 here. Nothing too crazy, it looks like. Got the new 5-minute candle. Let's see what happens with this 5-minute candle. Ideally, we'd want it to push over $4 pretty quickly. If it rejects down here, we might want to take some shares off. But as long as we stay above that 366 area, ideally above VWAP, then we're still looking good. Looking good. Looks like it's holding up pretty well right now. I check my stream real quick just to make sure I'm like streaming in the right section and stuff, because free stream stuff all got a little weird. Alright. At least I look. So yeah, I mean yesterday we saw kind of the same thing in the morning where it's like there are stocks that are moving up, but the rate at which they're moving is significantly less than last week. The Star Wars just said, "Want to become famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers." I'll pass. No, I
So,
can see chat.
is that like some chat bot
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
spamming you?
Go to
Alright.
bigfollows.com. Bigfollows.com.
Well,
Get those big followers.
that's what you gotta do.
Ah, try to get those followers on my own. I got
Cody's all
16
natural.
all
What?
natural, natty. Those natty followers. I'm gonna get natty 40 followers.
Says you're 16 followers right now?
Yeah, 16.
We got 6 overnight?
Yeah, cause Gary, Joe, and Colt
Oh,
big
okay.
followed me and stuff.
Yeah, it makes sense. I was like, that's definitely some bot shit right there. You get like one a day and you get 6 all of a sudden. It's like, seems a little
Completely
sus.
natural, David. Completely natural.
Acting like you don't know what this bigfollowers.com is. You're just like, oh, I don't know how I got these 6 followers.
And Omni followed me, like a few other people from the Sysred Discord. Someone followed me. I
Uh,
don't know who it is.
did you post in the Sysret Discord or something?
No,
Or
Aaron did.
oh, okay.
All right, we're getting a little. Seems to be chilling here below $4. Popped up to 4. Got close to 4, but then immediately pulled back. So not a whole lot going on. I wouldn't be surprised if we pull back down towards VWAP right now. Still got 2 minutes on this 5-minute candle, but it's a real small 5-minute candle. So we're kind of just waiting for it to break out one way or the other down through 80. Just seems like it's pushing that way right now. Or up through. I personally would like it to go up through $4. Yeah, we're pushing down here. 5-minute chart, we're still looking good. So, still holding it down. As long as we hold above 366. Alright. Go do a once over of all the other stuff we're looking at this morning. But, like I said, everything's just pulling back, pulling back, pulling back, back, pulling back. I think this week is going to be kind of a slow week. Take the profit where we can get it. I mean, at least in the low floats right now, we're still looking real slow. Last week, um, there was a lot of really good follow through. Pretty much every single day, there was one stock that made above 100% move. Today and yesterday, we had a lot of stuff pop up real early in the morning and then just pull back pretty much the entire rest of the morning. Um, yeah, and everything that is going up, it's grinding up. So it's not something where you take trades pretty quickly on. It's just gotta wait and then try to get your profit in over a period of time. I'm watching CTIB right now. It looks okay at the moment. I was really hoping ONCY would be the stock that popped off this morning. I took a trade on it up here as it came up through $4. But yeah, it immediately pulled back. I was hoping for a little bit more staying power. So it's just kind of setting the tone for this week, where it's like we're gonna have to be careful. Take the profit where you can get it, and it might be more reasonable to buy these and then hold them for a period of time rather than looking for bigger, faster moves. As far as like the market on the whole, though, I haven't really taken too much of a look at it. I think the market on the whole is doing extremely well, though, obviously in recent times. So I would expect.
Tesla's dropping like a brick right now.
Oh, Tesla is?
or like yesterday, I guess.
Check it out. Tesla. How's Palantir doing? Actually, I haven't checked. Oh man. Yeah, Tesla. Tesla is dropping pretty hard, isn't it? Only a couple weeks ago it was at $900.
Yeah.
Now it's at 677.
Palantir's been a wild ride. It spiked
It's
up to
brutal,
45.
man. Uh I didn't realize Palantir hit 45.
Yeah, then dropped to 25 a few days later.
Yeah. But now it's discount, dude, discount price.
Yeah.
You gotta buy some. And then of course, the meme stock of all meme stocks, GME, sitting at $44 right now. So absolutely no volume. CTIB, I'm still holding a little position here, pushing down towards the V up. On the 5 minute, as long as we hold above, 466, we're still looking good for this. It's like sideways 5 minute consolidation, and then hoping for this break up back towards the high of day. So I'm gonna hold my position still. Yeah, as long as it doesn't get down towards 466, be fine. And besides this, I mean, there really isn't a ton moving this morning. If you got anyone in chat, check out the scanners, oliveguardians.com. If you click on the menu, it'll bring up the different options for the scanners. So if you're only interested in low floats, you can only look at the low float stocks that have moved up more than 10% today. Medium float, high float, same thing. 25%, anything above 25%, so it doesn't matter if it's low float, medium float, high float, it'll show up in this. If you're looking for stuff that's dropped quite a bit and looking for it to bounce, you can check the fallers out. And the mover criteria is anything that's moved up more than 8% in the last 5 minutes, and I think it's more than 50,000 shares of volume on the day. So you don't want things that are moving up on like 5,000 shares of volume. We don't care about those at all. So yeah, that's what I am pulling all of my information from. So all of the stocks that I'm trading on the day, I get from that website. If anyone's got any feedback for me about it, or scanners that they think I should add, criteria for scanners, let me know, and I can get those in. Yeah, so I think the restreamed IO thing, it's like it still says that I have 0 viewers, and it hasn't changed all day, so I don't think it I don't think it's working very well. So I
Sucks.
might not do that from now on. I would like some way to multi-stream to YouTube, but not if it's like, um, such a detriment for like the stats, and I can't see like who follows me and all that stuff.
Yeah, I see 2 people on the stream.
It's you and
It's either,
one other
either me,
person.
Matt, or me and Carlos.
Oh, is Carl here?
I don't know.
The homie. Oh, gentleman's here too. My man.
I was joking.
What's going on, dude? Did you have any luck in the paper trading department yesterday? So CTIB popping back up here a little bit. I'm still holding from my position at $3.82. Rough. uh, Today does not seem to be much better in terms of movement here. Um, I'm hoping CTIB here is going to make this move back up through $4 and then push towards the high of day. Coming into 8 o'clock, maybe we'll get some more volume. But we'll see. If it pushes over $4 here, I'll probably take off a few shares just to get some profit in, since things aren't really moving very much this morning. So it popped over 4. was hoping for a little bit more of a move. Went up to $4.01. We'll see if it comes back up to over 4 here. Pushing against 4 pretty hard. Yeah, I haven't really looked at anything travel related either. Are the what's it called? The airlines popping up again? I haven't looked at them very much as of late, but I assume now with like the vaccine being more widely distributed and stuff, then all of these pre-COVID stocks are gonna start popping up again. Yeah, I looked at cruise lines a little bit, like a few months ago. At the same time that I was also looking at like the movie theater stocks, like AMC and stuff when they were really hurting. Um, Maybe it's worth it to start looking at some of those now that we might start opening up again. We're just chilling around $4 here at CTIB. I took off some shares when it pushed up to like $4.06. Just because it doesn't look like this thing's making any great moves. The rest of this though, I'm gonna hold until we get um, some kind of trend break on the 5 minute chart. Um, right now that would be down to 80 cents, 82 cents or something, so back to my break even point. Otherwise, I want to hold this for the break back up over $4.20. Oh, travel software industry. Nice. Yeah, I mean it's crazy how big that dip was, and then how everything recovered from it so quickly. It's just absolutely insane. Like if you had like the balls to just like go in on any of these stocks, GameStop included, AMC, any of the airlines. It's rough. Well, now's the opportunity. You can make some money back on that company if you buy their stock, maybe. Yeah, yeah. So it seems like at least this week, as far as like the day trading goes, all of the stuff that's been popping up has had like no staying power and has not been making very good moves. I didn't trade into the market open yesterday, so I don't really know how that went. But pre-market this week has been like infinitely worse than the past few weeks. Um, it's just been, yeah. If you look at these charts, like this is like the highest 5 minute moving chart, or one of the highest this morning, and over the course of 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, it moved 80 cents. So not making huge moves. I was hoping ONCY would have been good this morning. It came up on really nice volume here, pushing up from 350 to 470. I bought going into this, and then yeah, it just dropped like a brick. So really looking that great. And we're still just holding on CTIB here. Um, like to see this move up through 420, but it seems like we're on pretty light volume here. 8 o'clock. So it just hit 8 o'clock right now. So um, hopefully we'll see some volume come in, and hopefully that will be green volume. But it's looking like we're dipping at the moment. So just hold out and see what happens. If it breaks down below 390, I would say that's not a great sign right now. Um, so I'll hold down through 390. I'll see if it dips down. If it does end up dipping down through 390 and then pops back up, then I think that's still okay. But if it holds below 390 for any appreciable amount of time, then I'll probably dip out the rest of my shares. Um, Otherwise, I mean, it's still looking good for a move up. A very slow move up, but move up through 420 still looks likely. Yeah, that might be a good call. I mean, just judging by like the first 2 days this week, nothing's really been going that great. Everything's just kind of been moving sideways. So I would say you're probably not going to miss much, but you never know. People might get antsy in the first couple days when nothing is happening, and then the next time they see something pop up, they're just gonna go all in on it. So um, I'm hoping that's gonna happen at least because I'll be here all week, and I would like some opportunities to trade some stuff that is moving. But we got kind of a lower priced stock popping up here. CSCW. Um, it's just about $1 though, so I don't know if I'm gonna take a trade on this. I don't really love trading these super low price stocks.
The old CCSW.
I know I almost said that, yeah. But if this continues making a move, then I'd consider it just because literally nothing else is moving this morning. So you gotta take the trades that are presented to you and not really worry about the other things. Um, but yeah, we'll see here if it pushes back above $1.08. If it does push above $1.08 on the next pullback, I'd think about buying in. And same story over here on CTIB. We're just kind of chilling. It's pushing down to 390 now, so I would like it to stay above the 390 mark. Yeah, that's very strange that it's not working for you. I tried it on a few different networks yesterday, and all of them worked for me. So I couldn't, replicate the issues you were having. Um, so sorry about that. Yeah, I was gonna check. I thought maybe it was the way that I was like redirecting HTTP to HTTPS, but I looked through this stuff last night and I couldn't find any issue that you would be having with it. So I don't know. It's unfortunate. Like even our firewalled work network still gets to the site. It just won't load the charts because the charts are being drawn from like a non-standard port, so it's blocked by our firewall. But you should at least still be able to see the site. You know. All right, we just had a bounce off 390 here, coming back up, looking good, and looks like good volume coming into this 1 minute candle here. So hopefully this volume will push us back up to 420. And then if we push over, or if we push up to 420 here, or at least close to it, 418, maybe I'll take off another 10 shares. And then we just push it up to 415, pulled back fairly quickly. Um, yeah, I think we're still good here for this push up to 420. And then once it pushes up here, I'll take off 10 more shares as we push in. So we're up 417, 418. So I'll take off these shares now. I got them at 417. So I'm still holding half my position going into 420 here. I imagine that we'll probably hit some resistance around this area because this was a pretty long consolidation here early this morning when it came back down from 450. So I'm still willing to hold through it. Obviously, the trend still looks good. And if we do push back up to the high of day, or maybe even 440 here, I'd consider adding on to the position. Right now, I'm still just holding. Up, we took $7 in profit so far, and we got another 6 or whatever, 5 in unrealized. Oh, we got a stock moving up that I did not see. All right, we got BBIG here. Just moved from $4.50 up to $6. So I'm gonna dip out the rest of these shares here, and I'm gonna look at BBIG. And then if CTIB continues looking good, maybe I'll make another trade on that. So We push up to $6 here. I want to take a few shares. We'll take a few shares for this push up through 6. If we push down below $5.60, then I'll sell. Otherwise, we are looking good so far. So yeah, I bought a little high on this, but I didn't want to miss this move in case it does make the move through 6. Yeah, see, pushed up through 6 and then immediately sold off. So this is similar to what ONCY was doing. So I took off half my position above 6, just so I didn't get, wrecked here. But I got horrible fills on the... Yeah, I got horrible fills on the sell orders there, so not looking great. So reason why I'm so kind of weary of this stock is I took a trade on ONCY this morning where it's essentially the same situation where it popped up quite a bit extremely fast, and then as soon as I bought in and it broke the level that I was expecting it to break over, it pretty much pulled back the entirety of the move. So we're getting this pullback here, so I'll probably end up selling these shares, but it got bought up immediately. So we'll see if this is the stock that people are jumping on this morning. Let's see if we can get a move back up here through 616. Lot of indecision on the selling here. Yeah, it just spiked. I'm gonna take off another few shares there. It just jumped up to 630, immediately spiked down to 580, and then, within one tick went back to 630. So quite the volatility. We'll see if this thing calms down and starts moving a little bit more sane. And if it does, I'd be willing to buy some more shares on the way back up through 640 here. Otherwise, with like the tick rate and like execution speed of TD, I don't want to get caught into a trade where all of a sudden I'm down, 50 cents before I realize what happened. So I still got like 5 shares here, so we'll see what happens with this. But that last red candle is not great. It's a red candle on higher volume, so I might take out these shares and then wait for... Yeah, so I'm going to take them out here while it's up, and then I'm going to wait for a little bit better of a pullback and a little bit more of some clear direction before I take another trade on this. How are we looking so far today? We got $13 on CTIB, and that trade was, over the course of 30 minutes. It wasn't moving very much. I just made $5 on BBIG, which canceled out the $5 I took on SNSS here. So, yeah, I'm up $13. Let's see, BBIG, yes. I don't know if this is right. To say TikTok got sold to them? TikTok and I don't know what this word is. Kuaishou rival sells to Zash. I don't know. That's the news that popped up on like TD's news about this. So, and that happened at 8 o'clock. So, kind of coincides with it popping up here at 8. But I would say that like any news that has to do with TikTok in any way, probably of interest to people since TikTok is so popular these days. But I just want to be a little bit more careful because we've just seen a lot of pulling back this week. If this continues to look strong, then I'll buy back in, but don't wanna get wrecked on it. It's also hard when it's making such massive moves. In the time it takes me to hit my bongos 5 times, it could move 30 cents, and then all of a sudden I'm filled 30 cents higher than I want to be, and then it'll make a 50-cent dip, and all of a sudden I'm down significantly more than I thought I would be from where I thought I was buying in. So coming down a little bit towards VWAP here. But it's actually still looking decently strong, as long as it holds above view up. A lot of these other ones that we saw. So if we look at, for example, like ONCY here, the ONCY made this move, and then just pulled back all the way down. So the fact that BBIG right now is holding around this $6 level gives me a little bit more hope that there's going to be some continuation on it. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. CTIB. So I sold my position off on this to jump onto BBIG because I didn't want to manage two positions at the same time. And it seems like it's kind of pulling back. Like I said, I think in this $4.15 to $4 area, there's going to be a lot of sideways movement. Just because that's kind of where some of the sideways movement happened this morning. So if it comes back up closer to $4.50, I'll take a trade on it. Otherwise, just keep it on watch. See BBIG here, still holding above VWAP. Looks like it's putting in a little 1 minute candle move here. This might be a time to buy in if we can get this break over 640. I'd like to keep my stop pretty tight though. Yeah, okay. So I missed buying in on that there. But I mean it's looking pretty good. So we'll see if we can get this push up closer to 7. And if we push through up to 7, then I'll take the trade over 7. So buying a few shares here. It looks like we're moving. The stop is going to have to be, a little bit further down than like, just because it's been making such big moves. So a stop closer to VWAP is probably what I'm looking at right now. And I only have 10 shares, so I'm not really too worried about that. And then if we push up closer to $7, then I'll buy some more shares on the way up. So when we break through 670, if we hold above 680, that's a good sign that we'll probably try to make a break through $7. And then on the break through $7, I'll take off a portion of whatever I'm holding. But yeah, it's still looking very strong right now. And like I said, like any news that has to do with TikTok, I would think would be probably a big deal. So I assume a lot of people are looking at this. Close that 1 minute candle a little bit low, but on lighter volume compared to the big green candle before it. So still looking okay. Yeah, we don't know when, but gotta be ready for this push over 670 if it does happen. Getting close to VWAP now. So if it breaks down below VWAP and hits 6, if it doesn't rebound immediately, I'll probably take off the shares that I'm holding. Yeah, it's still looking good. If this 1 minute candle closes near the top, it'll be pretty good for us. I think it's pushing down hard though right now. Getting bought up close to VWAP, which is really a good sign. So people are definitely interested in buying the stock. We'll see if this 1 minute candle here can put in the move that we need back up to 670. On the 5 minute, this is a new 5 minute candle. The last 5 minute candle is kind of a red candle that didn't really have much movement here. You can see, closed close to where it started, had a bit of a downswing, but the up part was significantly better. And what you don't really want to see is that it went above the prior 5 minute candle at 640 and then closed below it, but the stock's fairly volatile, so I would say that's not like a huge sign of weakness. Really, when we see this break over here, so above 644, we'd like this 1 minute candle to hold above that before it closes. So it did close above it, just barely, so We'll see if we get the move back up to 670 here. If not, maybe we'll get some more sideways movement here before we're ready to break over it or to break down below view up. But I would assume a move is going to happen one way or the other fairly soon, within the next 5 minutes. Usually, the more volatile the stock is, like the lower time frame you want to look at it. So when it's moving this much, the 1 minute time frame is generally the one that you want to look at for technical analysis, like looking at seeing whether or not it's going to break out. Once it starts moving a little bit slower, then you want to move, shift over to the 5 minute outlook and see how that's looking. But currently, from our 5 minute candle, or our 5 minute chart, you can't really see, or you don't really get a whole lot of information from it. Most of the information is coming from this 1 minute. See this move here? Still kind of just moving sideways. Still holding 10 shares at 650. So I bought it at 650, hoping for the move up to $7 here. So just broke over 650, pushing back up, kind of tapped the similar level to this red candle back here that we've seen. But currently looking strong. If it breaks down below 630 now, that isn't a good sign, since we just put in this new 1 minute high and new pre-market high here on this last candle. So we'd like this candle to push up. Kind of, if it's going to move sideways, we want it to move sideways closer, between 675 and 690, and then so we can get the move up to 7 and get the break here. Yeah, I have so on the screen in front of me is the active trader window that you see up right now, and then on the screen on this side of me that the camera's on top of is where I keep my charts for my 1 minute and my 5 minute charts. And on the left side is my scanners and stuff, and my OBS and the chat and everything. Thinking about getting another monitor. We'll see if I actually do it, but I'd put it on top of my middle monitor so I can have the two screens above and below each other. Yeah, I've been thinking about it lately. I feel like I never really wanted more monitors until I got into trading, and then it's I need more monitors, I need more charts. I got my charts over here, but I only have the 1 minute and 5. I only have 4 charts on this screen. So if I'm doing 1 minute and 5 minute, I'm only able to look at 2 stocks. So it's so I'd like that other window so I can monitor 2 other stocks at the same time. Because sometimes my scanner won't pick up on some movement coming from something that I have on my watch list. Yeah, I agree. So I'll probably get a 4th one at some point. We'll see. Gotta keep all those charts on watch. A lot of charts that you need to watch. A lot of screen space. So some more indecision up here. I thought when we got this breakthrough 670, we'd have a clear move, up towards $7. But it does not seem to be the case. So this is similar to what I was saying before, where this week we've had a lot of kind of just popping up, sideways movement, really choppy. And on a stock like this with news that seems significant, I would have thought to have seen a more clear move up after this first move. It put in its first 1 minute pullback here, and then I would have thought that if it didn't break here, when it broke up here, we'd get the push up to 7, but just has not been the case. Yeah, I was also thinking about doing something similar to that. I have several laptops, and I was maybe I'll just put another, desk thing over here, and I'll just set up one of my laptops on it with more charts or something. But I didn't actually end up doing it. So it's pushing down here, but not super, not super concerning as of yet. Ooh, push down towards VWAP. We'll see if it gets bought up on VWAP here. If it pushes into VWAP and doesn't get bought up, then that's a bad sign and we'll sell out. Yeah, that would actually be nice. I could just put like my scanners on, like another machine just sitting over here, because the scanners I don't look at that often. It's like I do have them in like the corner of my eye, but it's not like the charts that I'm like monitoring of stuff that's already moved up. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, so BBIG here kind of pulled back a little bit, but at least on the 5 minute chart, we're still looking all right. Still have 3 minutes in this next 5 minute candle, so still got a ways to go if we want to make a move back up to $7 here. But I'm just gonna hold the shares that I currently have, and then if we look like we're getting stronger, volumes coming in into $7, then I'll add to the position. Otherwise, on the breakthrough 7, I'd probably consider just selling everything I have off, because we've seen most of the breaks today that we've seen so far have been very weak. It breaks through a level and moves maybe like a couple cents, and then it immediately starts pulling back. CTIB being a prime example of this. If we look on the 5 minute chart for CTIB here, so it broke up through $5. It stayed in like the $4. Stayed in this like $4 to 4.15 range for a little bit, and then just like immediately pulled back. Like all of its move is now sitting below VWAP. Speaking of VWAP, BBIG pushing below VWAP here. If we don't get bought up, then I'm gonna take off my position here. So it doesn't look like we're getting bought up. Sold off my position. If we start making another move up here through 650, I'll put my position back on. Since I kind of missed the original move I wanted here, and ended up buying it a little late. I'm expecting this move up through $7. Ideally, for this break over $6.40 here, I would have bought in like pushing up through 620, but I just didn't catch it there. So since I was already at a poor position, just take the position off right now. If it comes back up, then try to catch it where we should. But again, it's been pretty weak this morning, so I'm not gonna put my I'm not gonna keep my hopes up about this moving back up. Um, got CSCW. Oh yeah, so CSCW is the one I was looking at before, where it's like right around $1. So when I was looking at it, 20 minutes ago, it was at $1.08, and I was like, if it pushes back up above $1.08, I'll consider buying it. It has now, in the last 20 minutes, made a move to a minute or $1.12. So not really huge upside on that. Which one are you looking at, gentlemen? Oh, BBIG. Yeah, I could definitely believe that. Coming into the market open, I mean, I could see it popping up. Same thing with CTIB, where it's like CTIB currently is the highest gapper this morning with a 56% change, which is fairly low considering we've seen like 200, 300% changes last week. So I could see CTIB and BBIG being like on top of the watch list for people, especially CTIB's float being so low, and BBIG also has a float below 10 million shares. So it's like those would be the obvious ones to watch coming into the open. But as of right now, they are not looking too strong. So we'll see here. BBIG below VWAP. If the market had been stronger, I would consider taking a dip trade on this right now. In the $6 area with the expectation of it to come back up. But yeah, with the market the way it's been the last 2 days, I'll probably just hold off on that for now, um, and then wait for it to come to a more acceptable level where it seems like it's going to make a move up before I buy it. CTIB here. CTIB still holding this 5 minute trend, so it's making a higher low than it did previously. So on this break up through 377, I would consider taking some shares on it with the expectation for it to potentially move up. So if it continues its consolidation, right, it's putting in lower highs and higher lows. So eventually, we want this to converge at some point, and then break out of its level. Let's see, draw some lines. So if you take this buying up to 377, then you have to be in it for if it's going to continue consolidating, you could be holding this for 30 minutes or more, waiting for it to break out of its range. So I'd probably just wait on this, since I don't want to end up holding this forever. Especially because right now it's below VWAP. It's kind of putting in this 5 minute candle that isn't looking super strong at the moment. I would wait for it to break out of this consolidation range before I'd be willing to buy it. And maybe that might happen as we push back up here, coming closer to 9 o'clock when some more volume starts coming in. Also, I've been streaming on like a restream today instead of like just straight Twitch. If you guys notice any like issues with the stream or anything, let me know. Just because I've never used it like this before. But since no one has said anything to me, I assume that nothing has gone horribly wrong. So. All right, cool. Yeah, it's like so restream essentially like you stream to their like this restream.io site, and then they split your stream so you can stream to both like Twitch and YouTube, or like whatever variation of streaming services you want. So like I'm technically simultaneously casting to YouTube as well right now, but I assume absolutely no one is watching me on YouTube because I don't even like know on YouTube how to like put on like tags for what you're streaming and stuff. Yeah, so I might just switch back tomorrow because you also lose some functionality. Like I can't see like my followers, I can't see my Twitch stats, like how many people are viewing, so it's kind of annoying. But right now, it's what I got. And as long as it's not like lagging or anything, it's fine with me so far. BBIG looks like it's ticking up a little bit, but still pulled back pretty significantly from where it was. I'd like to see more volume come into this. Yeah, more volume. Also, it just needs to move up above VWAP. It's got a ways to go before I'd be willing to buy. And I mean CTIB. So here, adjust to this new low. So I mean now the consolidation is pretty much just like parallel. So yeah, really just waiting for a breakout, over 420 or below 360, 350 region. And I assume once it breaks through one of those levels, it'll kind of dictate the way it's going to go for the rest of the day. But yeah, just mostly sideways movement right now. Good volume on the stock. It's actually like really strange. It's got like near 1 million shares of volume traded on some of these candles, and like it says, at least my scanners that I pulled the information from Yahoo Finance, says that it's a 3.4 million share float. But a stock, that takes a million shares of volume. So technically, 1 million shares of volume is nearly a third of its total float, right? So it traded nearly a third of its total float, and it only moved, like 20 cents, 30 cents. which is extremely unusual for a low float stock. It's trading like its float is significantly higher, so it could just be Yahoo Finance is like way off on the float numbers. Um, Pretty much, like I don't understand why it happens, but um, like every website you check for the float of certain stocks, they're all different, and like sometimes they could be like wildly different. Um, and it makes sense that like sometimes they do like a reverse split or a split, and you get like a massive multiple of float difference. Um, but on some of these stocks that I don't think they've done a split recently or a reverse split recently, like the float can still be off by like tens of millions depending on the website that you look at. So CTIB seems like it's trading like a fairly high float stock right now. But Yahoo Finance claims it's a 3.4 million share float. So it could be wrong. But yeah, you just expect like when you trade a million shares of volume over 5 minutes that it would make a bigger move than that, especially when the majority of that volume is buying volume. Like you can see the distribution here. So it's pretty stark difference in the float that's represented and what we're seeing in the movement of it. But just kind of things you gotta take into account. So even though this is a 3 million share float, just treat it as though it's a higher share float stock. Um, yeah, it's same thing with earlier when I bought up through here. Held it for 15, 20 minutes and only made a 20, 30 cent move or whatever it was. So that's just what you're gonna expect, unless significant volume comes into this. Very significant volume. Nothing's really popped up on the scanners in the last 10 minutes. We still have CSCW, last thing to come up, but it's a 40 million share float, so not expecting anything great from it. So just as an example of what I was saying before, though, with like BBIG here, you know, like 200,000 shares moved, right? And it went from $4.80 with a high of $6. So this is the kind of movement you'd expect to see on a lower float stock. And this Yahoo Finance claims is 8.6 million, which is more than twice the float of CTIB. And this very lower amount of volume is making it move significantly. So yeah, this is more what we'd like to see on lower floats. Unfortunately, BBIG is pulling back, so there's nothing we can really do except for wait and see if we can get another trade on it as it comes up through VWAP. The story of the market this week. Nothing really going on. Quite sad. Yeah, it might be worth it to, if the lower float market is not doing spectacularly, it might be worth it to try to find some higher float stocks that seem to be moving this morning, or some mornings. Check out these airlines, I guess. Not a ton of volume. Oh, there are points of volume. Yeah. I think the bigger problem with these higher float stocks as well, like Palantir, the airlines, AAL, UAL, like all these CCL for the cruise lines, the pre-market volume is just horrendous. You get almost nothing as far as pre-market volume on these. So if you want to trade before the market open, it's like very unviable, and you're kind of at the whim of whoever wants to put in a large sell or buy order. So it's more like just buying and praying than it is, trying to do technical analysis and determine, you know, trader sentiment and stuff. Just gotta wait and see what starts moving. Still around, David? David is not around. I assume he's taking a shower. Yeah, pretty quiet morning. Look at some of these other stocks that popped up this morning. See if any of them are moving. Like I said, I only got like 2 sets of charts here, so I can't keep an eye on everything at the same time. So we got VBLT pulled back completely. RETO, which was one I think moved yesterday as well. Yeah, so RETO made like a decent move yesterday, uh, starting in the morning closer to $2 and then ending at a pre-market high of $3.50. Yeah, it's a pretty solid move, but again, this move happened over a pretty extended period of time. So it's not one of these volatile stocks like BBIG was in the beginning, where it made this massive $2 move like over the course of a minute or two. Um, so yeah, kind of similar to what we're seeing this morning. It's just like popped up and it's kind of just been moving sideways. So I don't love that. DWSM also popped up and then kind of just been moving sideways. TTIB, like I said, we've been watching this. It's kind of just in consolidation right now and not great. ONCY popped up, pulling back. CSCW, so cheap. Got here. SNGX. Low price, not that much volume. I'm not super interested in that unless it starts moving up some more. Alright, I'm gonna go hit the bathroom real quick. I will be right back. I've returned. Seems like nothing happened while I was gone. So, about as expected.
Where'd you go? I just took a shower.
What's up?
Where'd you go? I just took a shower. Just saw you were
Oh, I just went to the
AFK.
bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Because nothing was happening and I had to pee. Dude, it's just so slow this morning. So slow. I imagine this is what pre-market trading is like usually when the market isn't going crazy. Like I would think that pre-market trading was essentially like, or is essentially mostly non-existent when the market is acting normally, which is unfortunate. Yeah, nothing popping up on the scanners. BBIG just pulling back. Not really what we want to see, unfortunately. CTIB, you know, it might be worth it to take a trade up through VWAP here, but there's just been so many false breakouts and decreasing volume. Like the last few 5-minute candles have been on essentially no volume compared to the rest of the day. So BBIG is at the top. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely trading into the open can be very profitable, but I definitely don't like doing it on TD because you can just get you can just get wrecked. Because I know sometimes the orders take forever to execute, and you can buy, and then all of a sudden it'll drop $2, and then all of a sudden, yeah, it's just it's the worst. But yeah, alternatively, you could buy it, and it can go up $2 as well. So, it's possible. Make a lot of money on the open. We'll see what happens, though. Maybe I'll take a trade on it going into the open if it's looking good by then. I want to see it go up some more. I want it to be above VWAP going into the open if I'm going to take a trade on it. Yeah, maybe at some point I have a second trading platform that I use. That is much better, trading into the open. So at some point I'll set up my OBS and stream stuff so that I can capture at least my P&L for that, and then I can just show the charts and the trades that I'm making. And then maybe I'll stream into the open. But currently, I just don't stream into the open right now because trading on TD is just I don't love it going into the open. I believe it is possible to make money on it, but I don't think it's worth the effort for me to try it. Yeah, let me know. I wish you the best of luck, my friend. I hope you do make money. Yeah, pre-market, very slow, very slow. I'm hoping at some point this week it'll pick back up. I feel like really all it takes is one solid stock for everyone to jump on, for it to go back to what it was like last week. Where last week we saw several days in a row stocks that go up, 100%, 200%. It's just going crazy. I feel like everything slowed down a little bit, especially because the GME craze and the AMC craze kind of fell off. There was the whatever congressional hearing for the GME trading stuff, so yeah, I feel like everything's just kind of slowed down a bit, but hopefully at some point it'll pick back up. Oh, it's coming into 8:45 right now. There's the potential on usually on the 15 minutes or the 30 minutes for news to come out for stocks. So it's always good to just be keeping an eye on a scanner as it comes into a time like this, so you don't miss anything. Like I said this morning at 7 o'clock when I was watching the scanners, probably 5 or 6 stocks popped up on news, and they had stopped moving within 30 seconds. They popped up. I assume there's just a whole bunch of bots out there that just immediately get the news, do sentiment analysis on it, determine whether or not people will buy based on it, and then they just buy a position in whatever stock that it is. So I assume all of these bots just fired off, bought up the position in whatever it was, and then no one else jumped in with them. So every single one of the stocks just pulled back, which is unfortunate to see. I was hoping at least 1 or 2 stocks this morning would have some follow through on them. CTIB started popping up again, between 7 and 7:30, which it had popped up prior to it, and it still hasn't, pushed back over that high of day from earlier this morning. So yeah, we're just kind of waiting to see where where the strength comes, where we're gonna get some momentum on some of these stocks. I feel like I should try to do some analysis on days like this where these stocks aren't moving. Find stocks that either are moving down or are moving up, or maybe even potentially down. If I'm able to get shorts from TD, um, and like make up some new criteria for a scanner, so I'll actually have some stocks to trade when we have slower mornings like this. Because right now, if things aren't moving significantly, my scanners won't pick them up. So I assume that there are higher float, higher market cap companies that have made like 5% moves this morning, and it might be worth it to try to capitalize on those, because even if they are making like only 5% moves, if they are if they're moves that have like clear a clear direction that they're moving in, um, even if it's something where you have to buy and wait 30 minutes, and manage your position that way, uh, it's something that I could still be trading. Whereas with these low float stocks, when they start moving sideways like this, it's kind of hard to tell, if they're going to come back up to their pre-market highs, and if so, like when to buy. BBIG has just been pulling back for the last 30 minutes now, and I could potentially take a trade once it starts popping up. So here, as it was coming into 840, this could have been a place to take a trade, expecting to push back up to VWAP, but since we're already below VWAP, there's no guarantee we're going to see the strength, and in fact, it's more likely that we're not going to. Um, so if I can find some stocks that are making smaller moves, in the 5 to 10% range, but they're making clear moves, I could try to capitalize on those. So maybe I'll think about some scanner criteria for stuff like that. Try to find anything that's moving in mornings like this. It's been 10 minutes now since anything has hit the scanner, so yeah, things are p dead now. Um, we'll see coming into 9 o'clock if volume starts picking back up. Maybe BIG or what's it called, CTIB. We'll start pushing up a little bit. CTIB, just started making a move up to 4 here on significantly higher volume than the rest of the day so far, or significantly higher volume, at least, than the last few candles that it made. So it's pushing up towards $4 here. So let's just slap this here onto our active trading window. Just pushed up through 4. So it's looking good right now. Move up through VWAP. So I'd like to see it maybe put in a few more candles here and make sure that it's holding above VWAP. As I said, we're still in like this consolidation range, which is a fairly large range. So I wouldn't be super comfortable buying it until we got closer to that range, or unless we put in maybe like a few more sideways candles and then broke out again. But at least for this stock, this move that it just made from 375 up to $4.02, that's a pretty big move. In like five 1 minute candles here. We haven't seen that many moves like that today. So yeah, really, now it just needs to hold above VWAP, and then if it holds above VWAP here, the next time it breaks above $4.02, I'll consider taking a trade on it. But I'd like to see a few more candles here, just because this is the way this stock has been playing out. And it's coming into 9 o'clock, so this is probably going to be one of the ones to watch. CTIB is now the highest, gapper this morning. So anyone coming in at 9 o'clock looking at low float stocks, this is going to be the first one that they see. So it's expected that some more volume is going to come into this here. Alright, so now we put in a couple red 1 minute candles. If it pushes back up to $4 now, On the way up to $4, I'll probably buy some shares. Just needs to hold above VWAP and push above. So yeah, when it pushes above 497, I'll probably buy. I'll probably buy going into that level, with the expectation of it coming back above 4. But I'd like this candle here to close below 397 if possible. But if it doesn't, it just means that stock is looking good. Alright, so we're closing here 394, 395. So buy 30 shares coming in up through $4 here. So we'll have our stop at like 385, 384 where VWAP is. And then I guess our first profit target is 420. So we want to break through this range line here, which is right now about 416. So if we break above that, I feel like that's a good time for me to take my first profit. And then if we get some more consolidation, and also depending on how strong it looks coming into 9 o'clock, yeah, 420, nice. Yeah, depending how it looks coming into 9 o'clock, I might take a bigger position size as we push up through the previous high of day, if it comes up that high. I bought in a little high. My cost base is at $4 right now, and it would have been nice to get it at like 395. So it's not really that much of a difference, 5-cent difference. It's not too bad. This 1 minute breakout here did pull back. It didn't close above $4, which is what we wanted to see. But the stock in general has just been so choppy today that this is not really an indicator of anything bad. It could be that, I was hoping with the volume coming in that this was going to be a chance for us to break out of this range. But, I mean, it could just be that we're still in consolidation here and it's going to move back down, into this area, and we're going to continue moving sideways coming into the open. But I just want a few shares here if we do end up breaking out of this range, and if we go into 9 o'clock and, the volume picks up a little bit, then we already have a position at a decent price to get this move back up to 420. So 40 seconds on this last 5-minute candle, so it's green 5-minute candle. As long as it, if it holds above 4, that's looking really good for this candle. And then the next 5-minute candle moving into 9 o'clock hopefully should kind of pick up on a little bit higher volume, and we'll see. I would like to see the break of this range at 9 o'clock, or coming into 9 o'clock. But we'll see what actually happens. It's pulling back a little bit now. Like I said, 385 is probably the bailout point. So I'd be fine holding down to that. Otherwise, yeah, first profit target 420 on this break through this range. Yeah, so we put in that last 5-minute candle, and this is our new 5-minute candle, so see what happens with it. The last two 5-minute candles have had a higher volume than the previous 30 minutes, which is good to see. And both of those candles have closed green, which is also good. So everything is indicating that we're going in the right direction at the moment. And then hopefully with the volume coming in at 9, we'll look even better here. Like I said, this thing is, it really is trading like it's a much higher float stock. It's like, it's tightly trading within this 10-cent range here, which is usually not something you see for extended periods of time. It's been in the same 10-cent range for the last 5 minutes. Pushing a little bit further up now, but Still not a ton of movement here. And as far as the scanners go, we got nothing else really coming up. BBIG has pulled back, quite a bit, unfortunately, from its move. It still has the chance to go back up, but it's pulled back half its move at this point, and it would need to go back up pretty significantly for me to want to take a trade on it before the open. Also, yeah, but it has been pulling back on light volume, which I guess is good. So if volume comes back into it, it'd be a good trade. CTIB, we are getting some more volume coming back into it after this, quite the dip over the last like 30 minutes. It seems to be pushing down a bit right now, but it's still not terrible. It's still looking strong, and I would like to see when 9 rolls around for some volume to come back into it. Ooh, a dip there. And like I said, I'm fine with holding this down to VWAP, which is 386. As long as we don't break down through that, should be fine. I mean, we could still be in this consolidation period here, and it is, if we drop down below VWAP, it's likely it'll drop down close to 370. And then we would want to see it bounce off that level back up to $4. But I'm hoping with the increased volume coming in that we'll just make this break through $4 right now, and this is just a little bit of a pullback here before we move back up. Yeah, if you guys ever see any stocks that you think are moving, seem like they should be traded, let me know. Because when there's a lot of downtime, I mean, there's not like a ton to be done here. We can always look through some of these stocks that we were looking at earlier, but seeing as they have not popped back up on the scanner, it seems like they haven't been moving very much. Oh, that's CTIB. ONCY. CSCW is just so cheap. God. There is the chance that we could take a trade on this if it comes back up, but also its volume has been massively decreasing. So really, BBIG and CTIB are the only ones to watch at the moment. BBIG maybe popping back up a little bit here. Yeah, might be possible to take a few shares on this break through 540 here, but seeing how the low float market in general has been poor this week, I probably wouldn't take a trade until I'm back further up. All right, so it just CTIB just broke down below VWAP here, so I'm seeing if it is going to push back up or if it's going to hold down below VWAP before I decide to take my shares off the table here. So push down. The candle ended, right on VWAP. So we'll see if it pushes down again. If it pushes down again here, then we'll sell off the shares when it breaks down below this last red candle. So I feel like I always like to give these candles some room, because it's not always the case that they just like tapping off of VWAP and moving up. Sometimes it breaks down below VWAP and then it takes a second for it to reclaim it, but then it will hold above it. I don't know if this is the case in this scenario, but I'm at least giving it the time to make the move back up. So it looks like it's pushing back down below it. So sell off these shares here. And now I expect it's going to push back down, closer to 370. If it does make a move back up, I'll buy some more shares of it. But right now, it's not looking spectacular. We had CCNC pop up on the scanners, but barely even moved and fairly light volume, so not something that I'd super be interested in. Yeah, so on CTIB, that was the 9 o'clock candle there that made that drop down below view up. So I would say it's not a huge sign going into the open that at 9 o'clock it started selling off. And it doesn't look like anything else popped up on news at 9 o'clock, so kind of a slow day. And it doesn't look like that is going to change in the next 30 minutes probably. So I might just dip off right now because hasn't really been much moving. All the stuff coming into the open right now after 9 o'clock, it doesn't look like any increasing volume anywhere. Um, so yeah, probably stop the stream here. Hopefully we'll come back tomorrow and we'll get some stocks that are moving. We'll see. Maybe this morning I'll try to take a trade into the open. I'll let you guys know how it goes tomorrow morning. All right. Well, thanks for coming to the stream, guys.